Okay, Canada have beaten New Zealand 2-0 in the Women's World Cup group stages in Grenoble. The first half, the big talking point is the injury to CJ Bott, the freak arm injury that caused a lengthy delay in play and actually disrupted New Zealand. I think New Zealand had a little bit of the stuffing knocked out of them and a bit of their energy levels knocked out of them with their teammate going down with a freak broken arm blocking a shot come cross that was at pace. Your forearm isn't meant to bend that way. It's the best way I can describe it. It's a freak injury. Uh, that lengthy delay in play, after that, the New Zealand tempo just went and they just went within themselves and defended, basically. They didn't, it affected their morale, I think. It affected them. It was a game changer. It was a key moment in the game, is the injury to CJ Bott earlier in the first half. Before then, it was a pretty even, both sides probing, both sides playing their way into the game. And then that happens, and then the it just went into the momentum swung into Canada's favour. How they did not score until after half time, I don't know. Sinclair hits the bar. Sinclair had a clearance off the line of an attempt. I don't know how the Kiwis managed to keep it to nil at half time. They had only 20% of the possession. Canada had nearly 80% possession in the first half. That tells its own story. And that's how the game continued after half time. Now, both goals come after half time. Now, Jessie Fleming's goal is quick, incisive play, something the Canadians didn't do enough of. While the Canadians had loads of the ball and were creating opportunities, this was their best passage of play in the whole game, was for that first goal. Quick little counter attack, one touch passing, and the finish is a brilliant finish. And that was on 47 minutes. They had to wait nearly 30 minutes for their second goal. They had a lot of opportunities. By the time Michelle Prince scores, which is off a rebound of a Sinclair attempt that hits the post, which is great forward play. You always want to support an attacking player in the box to pick up on those rebounds and those deflections, and that's some really good support play there. And that is textbook support play. And there's a well-deserved goal because Michelle Prince had played very, very well and had 6 attempts on goal and 3 on target. So she was one of the more accurate shooters from the Canadian side with her shot percentage on target and conversion rate. There was always that risk that New Zealand could get something, and New Zealand had the odd little sniff in both halves. Right at the end, in added time, they were, had a free kick and a couple of attempts near the Canadian goal. The issue with Canada, if they are to go far in this tournament, now they've got to the next stage. All they've got to do is play the Netherlands in a dead rubber to see who comes first in the group. They're not scoring enough goals. For the amount of opportunities the Canadians are creating, their shooting percentage is really poor. They're not getting enough shots on target. They're not testing opposition goalkeepers and defences enough. Their shooting percentage is not great. Christine Sinclair, while she's going for this women's scoring record, and I think it's actually international football scoring record in both men's and women's games, she's not playing well. She may be the captain, she may be the leader of the team, she may be the team's best ever player, Canada's best ever player. She's not playing well. And while she is instrumental in the second goal because it's her opportunity that hits the post, that bounces out, that is end up being scored, her shooting percentage isn't great and her movement isn't great. So she's got to work on her movement and interplay with other forward players. And that's partly down to the coach as well. Partly down to her, partly down to her teammates. But as a team, the amount of opportunities they're missing and not hitting the target, the shooting percentage is really low. They're not scoring enough goals. And they got 2 in this game and they got 1 in the previous game. That's 3 goals, but you have to look at the amount of shots they've had to get only 3 goals. Isn't great. When the USA put 13 past Thailand, their shooting percentage was really high. Really high. And they had similar amounts of possession. So it's all well and good having loads of the ball, but if you don't do enough with it against better opposition, who may be better on the counter-attack, have quick-paced players who can counter-attack quickly, you could be punished. And the Dutch, very similar to the Canadians in the sense they're very defensively solid, but they've got quick players. That Canada-Holland game, well, it's a dead rubber, and they're both through to the next round. It could actually be one of the better games that we see because both sides will want to top the group to ease their passage through the knockout stages and get a better draw in the knockout stages. New Zealand, they can still get out of this group, but they're going to have to beat Cameroon and beat them well and hope other results in other groups go their way for the best third-place teams that will be, going into the next round. But they've got to show more in attack because they've shown nothing so far, absolutely nothing in attack to today. In the game against Holland, they showed little spasms of attacking intent, but today they just didn't show anything. And if they are to get out of the group, they've got to play better. But there we go. No VAR today, which is brilliant. No VAR, which is just a relief not to discuss VAR in a football video, which is brilliant. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's action. And of course, we've got the final group stages games next week, and then we start the knockout stages, which will be a lot of fun because it's now sudden death football after this, and that's where it gets really, really interesting. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.